Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Today we got something a little different for you. It's kind of like an RV hack, especially if you're a full-time RVer. Maybe you're not moving around as much and you're stationary in one spot, but you're living in your RV. This is going to be the hack for you. If you're moving around a bunch, maybe not so much because of the size of this unit, but it will work if you are, moving maybe 2 times, 3 times a year, something like that. But this is a whole house water filter. It's a 2-stage water filter. Well, it's more like 6 stages because they got, the foam and all the stuff in between, but it's 2 stages because it has 2 things of filters. And this is the H&G Lifestyles 2-stage whole house filter is how they market it, but it also can be adapted for RV, and we're going to show you how to do that in this video today. We have worked with H&G in the past with our deionizer for the car when we're doing it, and also the water softener for the RV, which they worked great. The thing on those, especially being in the RV and stuff like that, where you're in one spot for a while, the longevity of it is not very long, and you have to recharge it or, refill it. So this here, we're hoping will eliminate some of that issue as far as the water filtration because of the size of this, and it's made for 70,000 gallons. So it would take us a while to go through that one. And this is made for whole house, but you'll see it looks a little big, but if where we can hang it on the frame or something like that would work fine. We've done it on other things with we've installed other filters, the smaller ones, on the frame of the RV. They just hook right on, hook off. So it's really not that hard. It's just a bigger form factor. So let me shut up about that. I'm going to open this up and show you what comes in it. This has all brass fittings when you get it. So you'll have good fittings, and you ain't got to worry about that corrosion or anything where they're not going to like each other. Let me pull out some of the smaller stuff. You got the wrench for the filter housing. You'll need that. It comes with some stuff in it you'll need for setup. They have stainless steel, like the pinch clamps, if you're hooking it up to your house. And it is made for 1-inch, like PEX pipe. So if your house, you got 1-inch PEX feeding the house, these are clamps already here for you. It's got some drywall anchors with screws if you are hanging it on a wall that's drywall. I wouldn't recommend that because the weight, drywall is not great. And it's got some Teflon tape here for you to put those on your threads. Also, I'll show you those brass fittings. These are the brass fittings you have. It's supposed to have the 1-inch barb. This will fit a 3/4-inch garden hose, these barbs. So I'm going to show you how we make that happen when we go to install it on the filter. Pull the bag off. Now, like I said, this looks a little bigger when you see it, but it is. It's made for a whole house, so keep that in mind. Whoop, knock my own glasses off. This may not work for everybody's situation, but for us, it works out because we're in one spot and we use more than the other filters. We're changing the filter all the time. So here you go. It has a look of a lot of the other RV filters you see. Some have the 3 bottles, but they're a little smaller. This has the 2 bottles or the 2 filter housings. And on the top, it gives you the direction of flow. The flow happens to be from this side out. And look in here. It says it's supposed to be, all brass construction in here. The threads are even brass. I know there was some complaints before that it was plastic in here and only these were brass, but in here is brass also. So you should better get a better seal, especially with the Teflon tape. You do have the caps you can put in when you're moving from spot to spot or something. I mean, it is bigger than you would see for RV, but like I said, having that extra capacity, I think will be a big difference, especially if you have a bunch of people in your rig or if you're using a bunch. Let me tell you, this is supposed to filter out stuff for like iron, manganese, chlorine, lead, heavy metals, all that stuff. And it does it to like 99% efficiency is what they say. Look at my notes here. It has the GAC KDF filters, which is the granular activated charcoal, or carbon, excuse me, which is what you want. The carbon filters out a lot of that weird taste and smells. So you're going to want that. And it is NSFI certified filter media, so it would work for anything you got to do in your home. And like I mentioned, it is 70,000 gallon capacity, so it should be at least 70,000 gallons go through this before you might need to change it. It depends on how clean your water is coming in. If you're using on an RV and the water's not great, you might want like a pre-filter, like one of those RV ones that filter out the bigger stuff first before it goes into this. That's probably how we're going to do it on the RV we're going to put it on for the test. Like I said, it removes the odors, and it's supposed to remove odor and taste, but my experience with any of these filters, it never fully gets rid of all the odor, especially the chlorine odor. And the taste is all right. We do have a TDS test. We can do a before and after on the rig of the water coming out of the pre-filter. We'll see what that TDS is on that, and then we'll do it after it goes through this, which would be cool. And it has a flow rate of 9 gallons per minute. It comes with the book, tell you how to hook it up. It gives you all the stats on it as far as water temperatures to use, how to hang it, all that good stuff. So if you need that, I mean, it's pretty simple. When we eventually install it permanently, we're just going to put a couple screws in the frame like we did on some of our other rig. I'll try to pop a picture here how we hung that other one. We're just going to pop this on here. So that way all we do is pop it on the frame, pop it off when we're done, put it away. And then when we get to the site, we can pop it back on. It'll be pretty easy. I mean, it's got a little bit of weight, which it would be heavier with the water in it. That's why I don't think these drywall anchors is a good idea. So try to mount it to something solid. Now when you use this in the whole house, you can mount it into a variety of areas. You could do it before it comes into the house, like before it reaches any appliance in your house, which would probably be the best bet for something like this. Or you could install it under your sink if you wanted to just at the point of where it's coming in, or you could do it right at like your water heater or something, wherever you want to mount this to have filtered water after this is put in. But most likely you're going to want it before it gets into any part of the house. Now, if you're in an area where you have a basement and that all comes in, this would be an easy mount. There's just lots of stuff to mount to. The pipes are right there. But if you're in Florida where we don't have basements, water comes in a little funny. So you got to find out where you can pipe this in. A lot of times it is before the water heater or under the sink. So you got to find out where that comes in. But it will work for you in that aspect. And remember I mentioned it is made for PEX with the clamps. So you'll need that tool to squeeze the clamps if you're gonna use these in line. But we're gonna show you what we're gonna do with it. We are gonna use these fittings, but we're gonna use the hose feed for the RV, and we're gonna cut that in half and hook it to these and just hook it right in line. So that way all we gotta do is unscrew it when we're done, put it up, put it away, and you're good to go. But don't forget to put your caps in when you're ready to transport so you don't leak any of that water out. And then you can buy the replacement media. I know they recommend you replace it every 6 months, but again, that's going to depend on, is your area got dirtier water? Are you kind of filtered? Are you kind of clean water? You'll have to go by your area to know for sure. So with that being said, let's get over here and show you how we're going to modify this to work on an RV. All right, guys, we got you outside of the RV we're going to use for our test. We're only testing on this one. It's going to be on a bigger fifth wheel after our tests are done, but we're going to put on this travel trailer in line. Plus, we're going to put a different one on this one as well. That be one other one you've seen us do before. But before I get this hooked up and show you how we're going to do it, I want to show you a little more about the build on this. The metal plate on here, it's pretty thick metal. I mean, it's solid. And it's mounted nicely with the screws on top. We're going to take one of these off here. I'll show you a little bit more. Damn. And that is thick. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see how thick that is. That is good quality thick. I mean, it ain't thin by no means. And from what I'm seeing here, it's got the double seal. You got the one here around the edge, and you got the one that seals the top. If you have a problem where this is leaking and this is moving on you, you want to use that food grade grease, that silicone stuff. I'll leave a link to it down below in case you guys you don't know what I'm talking about. But you put that on here, it's food grade, so it's safe for your filters. But you can just make sure you put a little on each filter. But we're just going to screw this on here. You'll know if your filters are leaking, if you need to put some on there. But it goes on and comes off pretty easy. You'll feel it bottom out. Use your wrench, give it a slight turn after that. Same on the bottom, we'll double check. Yeah, see, that one's loose. Good thing we checked that one. I will also leave links. I'm not sure yet the price of the replacement filters, but we'll leave links to them down below. Chances are they're affiliate links. They help the channel out. So if you click on those, do your normal shopping. Doesn't cost you anything extra. We appreciate the support. But here we go. I mean, good quality, brass fittings, good plate. I mean, this feels just as good as some of them upper end ones you might see. You might have seen them for the RV industry, especially like, I don't know, what's that one? Pure Source or whatever. They got the three canisters. They're $350 plus. This one here I think retails for $149. So I mean, you're getting a good deal. All right, now our plan for this is we're taking a garden hose of normal feed hose you would use for an RV, and we're cutting it in half. And then we're going to put this in the end of the hose after we screw it in here. But we want to get some Teflon tape on this just to eliminate a chance of a leak. Plus it has the O-ring seal. So we're going to put that in there, tighten these down, and then put our hose on and then hook it in line. Before you hook the out part of it to your RV, you want to let it run a little bit because you're going to get black comes out from the activated carbon. So you want that to come out first before you hook it into your unit. So let me get that Teflon tape. We'll get this put in and then hook it up. All right, we got the included Teflon that came with the unit. We're just going to put some on the threads. Like I said, it does have the O-ring, but why not put some thread sealer on there also? We definitely don't want the leaks. Even though if it leaks, it's outside, so you would notice it. It's not inside your rig, unless you're mounting it inside your rig. I mean, some people do. Get a few good wraps on there. Make sure you make it go in the right direction as you're turning it in. You want to keep it wrapped. You don't want it to unwrap it. So we're going to screw those in. Just hand tight for now until we get them both going. Now we're going to do the same to the other side, then we'll tighten them down and get it hooked up. All right, guys, now when you're hooking this into your RV, you got a couple options. You could leave, most of you are going to have this filter on there. You can leave this one on as a pre-filter before it goes into your 2-stage, or you can remove it. We're going to leave it on. That's what we're planning on doing. We're going to take this hose off, but what we thought we'd do before we totally disconnected it was we'll do a TDS test on the water that comes out of this filtered. And remember, we're in an RV park, the water's pretty clean. So we're going to take the water out of this as it goes into the rig, and then we're going to do a TDS test and see what we're getting on that water, and then we'll hook it through this and through the dual stage and see what the TDS is on it after, see if we're getting much of a change or not. It'd be nice, just curious to find out. So let's unhook the hose from the rig. We'll get some water in here and we'll test it. All right, we have the hose out of the rig. We're going to just get some water into our glass bottle coming into there. Let me turn this on for you. We're just going to get some as it would come into your rig normally. There we go. I mean, you can see it's pretty clean water, but we're still going to do the TDS test. All right, here's our tester, guys. I'm not sure if you can see that display. It's reading 0 right now. We're going to put it into the water, swirl it around a little bit.
163, 164.
Yep, just do a few more seconds. All right, let's see what we got on that. We're getting 164 read. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. 164 is the read. That's what the TDS is coming out of the pre-filter that most RVers are using. So we're going to hook this system up and then test it again. But, I mean, 164 ain't terrible. I think on the back of this tells you the water, like, safe hard water is 100. So slightly on the harder end. But marginally acceptable is that range you see down, whoop, I'll get you guys in front of that over here. So it's in an acceptable range for sure, but we're going to try to get it better than that. So let's hook up this filter and then test it again. Okay, we took our old drinking water safe hose off of this unit. You can see it's sun faded. That's the one we're going to use for the test. We're hooking it up to the pre-filter just like it would have been normally. And then we're going to, I mean, we got a lot of length here. We'll probably cut it down a little bit just so it's better manageable. Okay, it's hooked into there. Now we just need to come over to this spot. So we're going to cut it off right about here. And then we can hook it onto that barb that's sticking out. We did tighten the barbs up. We just used a pair of channel locks. There we go. Don't need all that extra. Don't forget to put your clamp on. Now this will be a little bit tighter of a fit because these are big barbs on there. So, but you can see the hose in here got a pretty big spot. We'll hook it on. I'll show you better on the other side. I know you guys can't see this side, but we'll show you better on the other one. Right there, we got that hooked up. We're just going to use a nut driver. You can use a screwdriver, whatever size clamp you're using. Okay, we're tightened up on that side. Now we're going to do the same on this side. You got the end that goes up into your unit. Hold that up there for me, will you? We're just testing it for length. And then we're just probably going to cut it right here. Give us just enough because it'd be too hard to deal with all that hose. There we go. Okay, like I mentioned, we're just going to hook this onto that barb. Don't forget your hose clamp. Same thing. It'll be a little tighter fit, but this is what we came up with. There is other options. You could buy fittings that fit in here that are a little bit smaller of a barb that fit your size hose. Depends on what size your hose you're using, but this worked good for us as we get it up onto there. I mean, this is a tight fit, so I mean, you're going to have good seal by that alone. We'll put our clamp up there. You don't want to over tighten these worm gear clamps. I mean, the best kind is like if you can get a T clamp or something, or if you know it's going to be on there a while, you can buy with those the smaller size of the PEX type clamps. That will work also. Okay, now that's hooked up. Now before you get this running or hooked up to your rig, you're going to want to run water out of it because it's going to come out black most likely until it rinses out these filters. So you got to let it run for a few seconds. We're going to do that. I think you guys can get this shot. I'm going to turn this on. We'll see what comes out of here. But we got to go in the right flow direction. There's on top of here, there's a couple red things. The book doesn't tell you what they're for, but I believe they're for bleeding this if you got some air on the line. But we're going to see what this does. This is a good time to look for any leaks. And we got one right here at the hose over here. So let me tighten that up. Must have loosened it while I was, oh yeah. I loosened it while I was putting that on. All right, there we go. Not yet. It's filling up the cartridges right now. So far, no leaks. I can hear it wanting to come out. It's pushing the air out. Let's see how black. Oh yeah, that's nasty. You can see that's that charcoal or that carbon they got in there. You're gonna have to let that run till you see it run clear. It'll take a few seconds, so we're just letting it go. We're just gonna hold it here until it runs clear. All right, guys, here we are about 4 minutes later, and it's looking pretty clear, and the flow picked up. We'll put some in this bottle over here, or this glass. Definitely a lot clearer now. So now what we're going to do, that we had it running for a while, now we're going to fill that glass up again. We're going to do the TDS test one more time to see if the TDS went down from, what was it, 164? See if it went down from 164. So let's fill that up. There we go. Shut this off. All right, do this test one more time. Put it up here so you guys can see it. You guys see that all right? All right, we're gonna turn this on. We are at 0. You guys can see that. We're gonna put it in here and move it around a little bit. All right, what we got is 134. So it did drop some, and 134 is well within the average water, tap water. Average tap water starts at 200, and we're only at 134. So even the other one was pretty good, but this is pretty good. It should get a little better as you're flowing that out of there, clean it out a little better. But this is only for the total dissolved solids. I might let it run a couple more and just test it again just off camera. And if I get a big change, I'll flash back in and let you guys know. Yep, so 134. Well, there you have it, guys. A quick little project that might help you in the future so you don't have to change your filters a lot on your RV if you're full-time RVing. If you're a weekend warrior, your filters will last you a while, but doing it full-time, you go through the filters quicker. So this here gives us more capacity, and it's really affordable. So something for you guys to look into. I'll leave links to all the stuff down below if you guys are interested. We're not affiliated with them. If you want to click our link in Amazon, it helps us out. Appreciate that. Side note, don't forget to keep your caps that go to the filter. So when you do move around, you can put these back in and keep it stored so nothing gets in there. But quick and easy modification to this whole house filter to make it work on an RV. That it can be modified for that. Like I said, you can get different barbs to fit your size hose. These ones happen to fit our hose. They fit really tight, so we like that. We did use stainless clamps, which I try to do everything stainless on an RV. If I pull a screw out of anywhere, it's going back in with a stainless. So they're good to have. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. If you have, don't forget to hit that like button down below. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the description or the comment section down below. We'll get to them. And again, guys, thanks for watching. Try something new.